showtime.
Breaking news from the BS and Beer News Desk.
That's right. The Beer Chaser is back. I got B-Train with me. I am your host, Dale. What's up, B-Train?
Hey, who dat? Got the dub.
Who dat? Got the dub, baby. The Saints beat the Panthers 20-17. How you feeling?
Man, that's always so satisfying to beat a division rival. Not as good as the Falcons, but man, I hate the Panthers, so that's always good.
Yeah, good division win. We had the couple Panthers podcasts on the beer run earlier this week.
Yeah,
they pretty much said, hey, you guys will guaranteed to win. And yeah, they were right. The Panthers really wanted to give us the game. So
yeah, and it was the score makes it look closer than it was, but in the first half it was kind of a back and forth, but in the second half, the Saints took control and they look good. Yeah, the defense especially.
Man, defense looks great, man, for real.
Yeah.
They really do. They've stopped the Panthers on several short yardage, short field situations because we turned it over or something. And,
when it mattered.
Yeah. They went low.
Yeah, can we get rid of this prevent defense nonsense though? Come on, man. If you're up
later
3
on,
or 4 touchdowns, okay, but come on, man. That was an onside kick away from making me real nervous.
Right. yeah.
I'm gonna open this one right here.
Dave was talking about being nervous and having his nerves all bad in this game. Like, bro, you're gonna die. It's like
Yeah.
This one didn't have me too nervous, man. I'd say.
No, in the first half maybe a little bit, but second half things calmed down.
I say more frustrated than nervous.
Yeah, early on, and you could tell that like Carr was getting frustrated too. So I don't know what conversation they had in the locker room, but everybody settled down in the second half and things looked a lot better. Not amazing, but better.
Yep. All right, let's go through some notes.
Sure.
Look on that first drive, I left thinking, oh, offensive line is still a problem.
Yeah.
We suck.
I mean, look, they got to give Penning a lot of help. And I mean, these 2 games now, it's still a small sample size. They figure it out, but like, come on, man, you draft a guy that high, someone that's that big needs to be holding his own. And I mean, honestly, that was one of the weird things in the first half. I thought he looked okay. Mm-hmm. Early on, I don't know if he got tired or what. He's a big boy. I got it, but he's got to do better out there.
Yeah, I saw up and down from like I don't think anybody was really exempt from the offensive line from what I saw.
Yeah,
what I think I saw at least. Because I'm still a fan watching, and you don't see so much on the TV copy. But yeah, I thought everybody struggled on the offensive line, especially in that first half, man.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to tell exactly where the problem is. I gotta, look at the tape where we can see all the receivers and everything, because it just seemed like every time Carr targeted a receiver, there was 3 defenders on him every single time. And I'm like, that, the math look, I don't like doing math in public, this, but there's only 11 guys on the defense. Somebody's got to be open somewhere, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got Headley starts off with a 25-yard punt. Like,
man,
that was atrocious, bro.
Not good. Well, he had that one that looked okay later on, but yeah, but punched one right through the end zone too later on. I mean, I don't know, nothing
like a net 20-yard punt.
Yeah,
silly.
I mean, something that the reason they kept him right is because I got it. Hang time's one thing, but his control, and that's why these guys in Australia are going through that special kicking academy. So when you're kicking from midfield like that, you kind of expect that you're going to pin them down in the 20. So nothing I'm going to lose a lot of sleep over yet. But again, when Gillikin looked as good as he did a couple years ago, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, looking at his punts this game, he averaged 42 yards on a punt, 1 touchback, 2 inside the 20. His net average for the game was 42 yards. Looking at his net average for the year so far, and it's like 41 yards. So it's ticking up, but it's got to get better. And those shanks help that average, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I got too much beer in me right now to really figure out if that's a good net average or not. But I mean, I don't think so. Doesn't pass the eye test.
Yeah. What's up, Todd Gunn? We see you out there waiting on us. Appreciate you being patient with us while we were
Top
trying to
Gun
set
for
up.
life. Great movie, both of them, both Top Guns.
Yeah. Who that to you? Appreciate
Yep.
you waiting for us out here. All right, next note I got: Panthers were able to capitalize on a short punt by getting a field goal, and that's the kind of thing that'll get you beat. You know, having that short punt like that,
Yeah.
giving them a short field to work with, and the best your defense can do is stop them to a field goal. So.
Man, we got lucky a couple times out there because one, there was the fumble where they were, knocking on the door. At least they should have walked away with a field goal from that drive. And even though the Saints didn't do much with the following possession, like they kept them out of it for that, the time being. And then just Bryce Young. I mean, I got it. He's young. It's his second game. Who knows? But as of right now, didn't look great. Thankfully for us. Maybe he will later on, but yeah, the Saints got lucky a couple times. Maybe I don't want to say lucky. I mean, they had good defense. But
I mean, luck always factors in, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
For a game, but
yeah.
Wait, you see that play from Pittsburgh with this fumble?
Oh man,
like a million times. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that game on the TV too, right next to me, so I keep glancing over at that because Cleveland's got that drip, man. Tonight at least.
Yeah, the all white, like that all white, huh?
Yeah,
it looks good.
It would look better with us, but
all right, Jamal Williams, hamstring injury in their first half. So I left the team with Tony Jones Jr. and Taysom Hill because he does it all.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. And I'm glad that Derek Carr was able to humble himself, and you could tell by the end of the game he was just happy that they did as well as they did. And I think that's great, man. Tony Jones Jr. He's got some familiarity with the system. He's been with the team before. They called him up recently because I think they knew Kendra Miller wasn't ready to go yet, and he answered the call. Any given Sunday or any given Monday, and your number gets called, you don't know what's going to happen. And then lining Taysom up in the I formation like that, I don't know that I've seen that before. I mean, they obviously use him as a running back more often than not, but to see him taking handoffs from Carr like that, I thought was awesome. I mean, and it worked.
That's true. Great. That's true. Him at the tailback. I mean, you had to do it, because you literally only had Tony Jones Jr. as your only healthy running back. So, Taysom does it all. So Taysom get back there, play some running back, and he actually got a handoff. But I started seeing some of the times where he would just line up at quarterback and just take a snap, and they pretty much run, a quarterback draw, for him. But the Panthers are playing it with like too high.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Several times.
Which is crazy because early on I think they tackled him for a loss. It's like it's coming, and I get it. You can't sell out completely because he did throw a pass in the game, and you always got to leave that possibility open. But come on, man. Yeah. Taysom taking the sack, 90% of the time what that means.
But too high?
That's ridiculous, yeah. I mean, thankfully, right? But yeah, that was amateur.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Look, these $1 million coaches, they get paid to make dumb mistakes like this, and
Yeah. Well, they got to be feeling bad. They're 0-2 in the division right now. Two division games off the bat, lost them both.
Yep. So after that short punt, and Jamal Williams getting injured and all that stuff, we saw Carr throw an interception into triple coverage to Olave.
Yeah.
And but that actually led to like a Granderson sack fumble, but talk to me about the throw.
it was good to see the back and forth, right? Like thankfully they had a turnover not long after, but man, you could tell Carr wanted that one back. And I mean, that was no different than what he was doing the rest of the game. Like he was throwing into double or triple coverage.
Yeah, man.
And holding on to the ball for a long time too, which is not really what I want to see from him.
Yes, definitely holding on to the ball. I think he took 4 sacks this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I have to look it up, but it sounds right.
Yeah, 4 sacks. That's right.
Gosh, some of that was painful, but a big function of this too, I think, is the fact that a lot of these guys aren't really playing much in the preseason, and so I think he's new to the team, and even though he's been with them since spring, it just takes some time, and I'm hoping, that's right, and now that they've, they're out there playing games, I expect that things are going to gel pretty soon. I think they'll be looking good by the end of the season. At least that's the expectation. That should be the expectation.
I heard some analysts talk about this. Just overall, the NFL, like the first month of the season, it's sort of like preseason because everybody's getting used to playing and tackling and all that kind of stuff, and the sharpness starts coming after that. So,
but it's a lot easier to diagnose these problems and work on them after a win than it is a loss.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I saw the guys laughing on the sideline and having fun. And I'm like, look, there's still a lot of stuff they got to clean up, but you'd rather do it after walking away with a win. Like if you lose, everyone just feels bad. It's a long plane ride home.
Oh, man, terrible plane ride.
And they're on the road again next week in Lambeau too.
Right. Yep. And so my last thing I got for the first half is a 2-minute drive. It's terrible. The offensive line can't block anybody. And this is one where I saw like Hurst, Penning, Ruiz, like all of them got beat on that drive. Yes.
Everybody. And if it was just Penning, then, obviously there's some help you can give him. But the offensive line just rough.
Yeah, Pete Carmichael can't just dollop a play to help every single offensive lineman win a one-on-one battle.
Yeah.
And one guy, I want to say Ruiz, like got knocked back by like a linebacker coming in on a delayed blitz. Like, man, you just signed this deal, bro. You can't get knocked back like that.
No, that's right. He just got the bag, man. Now you got to prove that you earned it. But I feel like Ram is the only one that's just consistently looking good throughout 2 games so far. But I mean,
I don't know. I saw him get beat a couple times too. Like he didn't have a great game. Like it may be better than some of the other ones. He probably graded out a little bit better, but it wasn't great for him either, from what I saw. So
I think Penning has taken away everyone's attention from the other side of the line.
Yeah,
this used to be such a strength with this team. For years the offensive line was always a strength.
Hey, they put in resources. I can't say that they haven't invested in it. It's just
that's true.
They got to come on and play up, y'all. So
and I think that Carolina has a decent defensive line. I mean, I think that was a matchup that we were looking for.
Yeah, we were talking about Burns, being afraid of him. I thought they mostly kept him in check, but he still got some nice pressures. And I mean, you got to call his name for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Saw him a lot out there.
Like this guy, Frankie Louvo. Who the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. But he looked all pro out there tonight.
Right, exactly. This guy's agent is calling the GM like, yo, we need a new deal.
Yeah. After that game, after Monday Night Football, everybody saw that,
Yeah. So
that's funny.
But yeah, just looking at the stat sheet, Brian Burns was held to like 2 tackles, and that was it. That's great work for the Saints offensive line for that part. At least you don't let the best guy beat you. So. Yeah,
and I think that they figured out who was going to be open later on or something because Olave had some Sports Center highlight reel catches, especially in the second half that kept us in it. And what was weird was that Michael Thomas was getting open a lot. I felt like in the first half.
He sure did.
But then they must have started double covering it or something.
Yeah, I think in the second half I only saw passes to maybe one to the tight end, Juwan Johnson, Shaheed, Olave, really.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
That was really it. So yeah, you're right about that.
I think they're saving Jimmy Graham for the next home game. He was out there, but I wanted to see him. Yeah.
I got some notes with him where they called him for holding on the block.
Man.
Because, that's what we want Jimmy Graham out there doing, blocking.
No. Remember they tried that in Seattle. Like, that was the brilliant move they were going to do. They were going to turn him into a blocking tight end. It was a disaster.
Yeah. So, like, we're like 0 for 2 in the red zone the first half, I think? Or was it 0 for 3?
Well, 0 for 2, I thought. But the Groupie was, got those field goals. So that was nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Props to him for kicking the field goals and making them, for sure.
Yeah, but you can't. Those were 2 long drives, and you cannot end long drives like that. Field goals. That's nothing.
That's why the game was close. The whole time there. Yeah, you're right. And so that brought into question the whole Derek Carr in the red zone thing, because I mean, look, all offseason the naysayers, they talked about that stat, and I mean, so far 2 weeks, it's coming up.
Yeah, and thankfully it ended up being if you watch the game and don't just look at the score afterwards, it was a relatively convincing game. But Derek Carr owes Tony Jones Jr. dinner or something, man, because he hooked him up.
Exactly. So let's see here. Next thing I got in the second half, Olave caught a deep pass, got up, spiked the ball. It didn't look like he got touched.
I am so glad they didn't take a look at that, because
the ball went out of bounds, luckily, though. But
well, thankfully, but you could tell the defender was like, I think this dude just fumbled the ball.
Yes. Bro,
he should have. If the defender had sold it, like if the defender had just picked it up,
just ran with it.
They would have looked at that for sure. And I think that I could see the announcers being like, well, I don't know. He was never touched.
I can't believe this, man. You get up and run. That's what you do. You don't get up and fight the ball.
Yeah, God, no. I mean, it was exciting, and I'm glad nothing came of that. But yeah, I think that was a fumble.
Yep, for real. So then Tony Jones Jr. steps up, overcomes a couple bad spots by the refs. They tried their best, bro.
What in the world? Some of those, man. Like that one that was obvious, I thought was a first down, and they said now it's third
down. What?
Yeah, get out of here, man. But that one with what's his name? Was it Shaheed? Or no, it was Olave, where he was tiptoeing on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
And like that Broncos game a few years ago, if he was wearing white cleats, they would have been like, we can't tell. That's a touchdown. We got to call stance. These guys need to be wearing the white cleats.
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It benefits you a lot, man.
That's right.
Make the refs work. Sure.
The black cleats make it too obvious.
Yeah. So Tony Jones Jr. steps up, punches it in the red zone. This is in the third quarter. And then, boom, we got a Foskey sighting.
Yes.
Because he almost blocked a punt. You kidding me? Foskey?
I liked where they put him in there. It's got to be good for his confidence, because I think he was a healthy scratch in week 1, and he got some snaps in today. And I mean, you got to figure he's a little bit of a project, but he's got a lot of raw talent, and it's nice to see something. Just kind of like we saw a little bit of Breezy last week. So with these young guys, like if they're getting out there and they're making some plays here and there, or getting close, that's always a good sign for their development.
Yep, for sure. All right. And oh my God, Carolina can't figure out how to stop Taysom running up the middle. Quarterback, bro.
You know what? To be fair, many have tried. Many people have tried. You can see it coming from a mile away. You can't stop it. What are you going to do?
I'm looking at the play, and I'm like, we about to run out the middle. That's what we about to do. And we did
sure
it.
Enough.
And they had too high.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but he passed the ball later on. He had a completion, which I'm surprised they don't do more of that because it's just like 90% of the time the dude's just going to run it up the middle or off right tackle or something. And, it always works. So no reason to stop. But there was a couple times I think he had a running play where he got stopped kind of short and there was a dude that was open. I couldn't tell if it was Moreau or someone that was right there that was wide open. Coach needs to talk to him and be like, look, I got it. You're bulldozing guys. All right. And it works. But just maybe take a quick glance. If there's someone wide open in the end zone, just toss it to him.
Right. Please do. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, I was talking to the Panthers fan from Nick that roller coverage that was on the beer run the other day. And he was pretty much saying they need to fire the defensive coordinator. Like, that's what they need to do.
I took, I like to make a fun tradition out of this when the Saints win. Just take a quick gander over at the opposing team's subreddit, and it's just shade and fruit. I know that ours looks just as bad when we lose, or even when we're winning. But yeah, it's just nothing but like, the coach needs to sell the team. They need to fire. Or I'm sorry, the owner needs to sell the team. They need to fire the coach. They need to fire all the coordinators. Bryce Young is the worst draft pick ever in the history of draft picks. It's nice. It's nice to see when it's a division rival.
Yeah. I agree with that. We enjoy those tears.
Yes.
Oh man. Speaking of, what you end up drinking for the game today?
So I went heavy on Corona. I think this is all I had. Corona Familiar R. I just had a few of them in the fridge, and I don't want to forget. Craig got it right. Craig said it was going to be 2017.
Craig said 2017. I can't believe that.
I was a little off on mine, but I do owe him. I'm going to go ahead and chug for that.
There we go. Hey. Good job, BK. Good job.
There you go, Craig. But I was off. I predicted that it was going to be a little more of a blowout.
Yeah, I said 27-17. So
yeah, you were close. You were still closer than me, though.
It was close.
I said the Saints were going to score 10 touchdowns and that Groupie was going to miss the last extra point just for fun at the end. And that was it. So you can do the math out there.
Hell of a prediction there. Oh, man.
I was hoping I could will it into existence.
So Taysom, you got to see Taysom in the eye today.
Yeah. Man, because something.
What did you think about Taysom in the eye, man?
I loved it. I was like, they should be doing this more often. They had to do it today. They were out of running backs. They had zero. They had zero left, except for Tony Jones Jr. Yep. But I don't know, man. Maybe if they had drafted a running back that didn't have an injury history, just throwing it out there. But you know what? They got Taysom, and frankly, whatever forces Dennis Allen to use him more is that's a silver lining at least. Obviously it sucked that Jamal Williams went out, and hopefully he's okay. Yeah. Especially because they still don't get Kamara back for for the next game.
This was a first half injury, and he was out for the remainder of the game. So it might be pretty serious.
Yeah,
keep him out for a little bit.
They can. Who's that guy that was a wide receiver?
Kirk Merritt.
Yeah, that's right. They can, make him a game day active next week in Lambeau. It's not too cold next week, I don't think, in Green Bay, but you gotta figure they're probably still going to need to run the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to try to sign somebody off the street on a short week.
Yeah, but they could still maybe bring up Merriweather or someone from the practice squad
for sure.
But yeah, they're going to need that, and the team's going to be missing Kamara next week, and maybe Kendre Miller's better. I don't know, and he was at least practicing this week, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, but they said he didn't look right, so I don't know how close he is.
If he's still limping and stuff, Fournette.
Hey, he's available. He's available. We might want to give him a call. Leonard Fournette. I'm just saying.
Not a bad idea. Or you know what? Mark Ingram has looked great in the booth, but he could probably be convinced to come out for just a couple weeks. I
don't know, man. Ever since he stepped out of bounds too early,
Yeah, but you can't let him end it like that. He's a Saints legend, man. You gotta give him one more. Just be like, look, we're gonna give you the ball one more time. We're just get a first down, and then you can go back to the broadcast booth.
I think that who that chat was a wrap.
Yeah, Fournette might be a better choice right now. That'd be popular. It'd be a popular move
for
right
sure.
there.
For sure.
Yeah.
You'll sell some jerseys for sure.
Yeah. That'd be good.
So huge mixed tackle by Marcus May on Bryce Young. Like he was just assuming Bryce Young was gonna go down on the scramble up the middle. Huge game.
That was painful, man. That reminded me of Alex Smith, man. Every time I see something like that, and look, I don't know. And Bryce Young's a young guy, but I mean he's a little guy too.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on there, but if they only blow a couple plays like that, not a huge deal, but
yeah,
just lesson learned, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think Kareem Hunt is still available, Jake.
Yeah, and he didn't. He came in, and I think he wanted more money. I don't know what the deal was there, but I don't know.
I think he wanted a little bit more. So
the market doesn't look too strong. So maybe the Saints can come up and be like, "Hey, about that original offer we put on the table."
I mean, more than likely, it's going to be Cleveland calling Kareem Hunt back.
Yeah,
because Nick Chubb looked like he got a torn ACL from that hit I saw. So yeah.
God, yeah, that's rough. That's tough for them. And, I think a lot of these guys, probably Fournette and Hunt, they know that some of their peers are going to go down throughout the season. So
yeah, this is why he held out. Didn't get that 1 year $2 million deal or whatever.
Yeah, but would you rather go to New Orleans or Cleveland? Come on.
I mean, look, as a running back, you probably just want some money. Like,
yeah, just take the bag.
I'm not thinking about winning no championships and all this,
especially at that age, right?
Yeah, I just want to get paid. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
All right, Paulson the Debo got a PI that put Carolina in the red zone.
Yeah, that was killer. I'm look. I got.
Did you agree with the call or
no? I'm biased, but no, I didn't. I think even the announcers were kind of like, they said, "Oh well, he pushed off, and the receiver kind of sold it." Come on, man. I mean, I'm not even mad at Debo for that. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yep. And this is one where Bryce Young lined up behind the guard in a gun. His running back is like pushing him over. Yo.
Welcome to the NFL. Who did that once for the Saints? Was Adrian McPherson?
Adrian McPherson, yeah, but he lined up actually under the guard. I think
the guy walks up to him. He's like, no. He's like, you need to move over one. Yeah. The guard was probably like, what is going on back there?
But shout out to the running backs. Both situations, the running back are the one that corrected it. Okay, so we need to pay running backs now. Okay.
They're the real signal callers.
That's right.
Yeah, welcome to the NFL, right? That was real. Funny. Now, if he's still doing that in 5 years, then it'll be even funnier. But
so how did you think he looked overall?
I didn't think he looked that great, especially for if you're trading away that much stuff to get the number one overall pick. I mean, again, you just kind of expect a little more. Now, I think NFL fans in general need to be a little more patient.
True.
But yeah, I mean, if I was a Panthers fan, I'd be a little nervous right now.
Yeah, he went 22 for 33, 153, a touchdown, took 4 sacks. He rushed for 34 yards, long of 26. So
and those numbers aren't even like amazing in the first place, but most of that came in garbage time. Garbage time for us
later in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were still in it. I wouldn't say it was garbage time necessarily, but it was that Saints were going to that prevent defense.
Yeah.
So it's a little misleading because the rest of the game when the defense was trying to snuff him out, I mean, they did. They were very successful in that.
Yep. All right, and another red zone touchdown by Tony Jones Jr., but it came after an explosive play from Rashid Shaheed. Good to see us punch it in the second half for sure.
Yeah.
But the question I have is our offense dependent upon the big play? Because this is the time where we punched it in. We got 2 big plays, and we punched it in.
I mean, you got to have some explosive plays here and there. I mean, we gave up a couple to the Panthers, but you got to seize the momentum and take advantage of it. So, I mean, it's good to see for Carr too, because he was getting frustrated down there. So I think he needed some of that. And with the run game kind of drying up the way it did,
yeah,
I was worried. Man. Yeah, Tony Jones Jr. stepped up, and I'm actually I don't think they had much of a choice, but I was a little worried that they were going to be too risk adverse and not even run him at all.
Right.
And they did. So, and he made the most of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. I thought protection on the offensive line got better late in the game. Carr looked comfortable back there. And then stuff started kind of opening up in the run game. We got, Taysom, running the ball again late, icing the game, putting the game away. Like that's good stuff. When you can do that, rush the ball to ice the game, like that's good offense right there.
Yeah, I agree. And some of that too might be time of possession. And I'm trying to look up what that was right now.
Time of possession. Let me see. So we had the ball for 32 minutes. Carolina had the ball for 27 minutes.
Man, it's surprising. I felt like we had it a little bit longer than that, but regardless, we did have a few long drives in there. And, when you're dictating the tempo of the game and the defenders are getting tired, that's when you can make those big explosive plays, or that's when you can actually make something out of the run game.
Yeah.
Because you didn't notice Carr having as much trouble towards the end there.
Right, exactly. We're even on the turnover margin because we both turned the ball over, 1 interception, 1 fumble. But yeah, overall though, man, we feel real good about the defense. Offense, still a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the offense just yet.
Okay.
I think that the defense is more plug and play. I think the offense takes a little more time to gel, especially because a lot of these guys didn't really play with each other during the preseason. So, if they still look like this halfway through the season, I might be a little more worried. But yeah, the defense at least was good, and I think that you give the offense a little time, and I think they're going to make up for it.
Yeah. All right. Comment from Jake. Carr seems really happy, and Thomas and Olave seem to be a good tandem. So,
yeah,
I agree. I love how they got Mike Thomas involved early. He was a factor in this game.
Yeah.
Like if we could protect Carr for the rest of the year, like I think we're going to be good. But we have to get this running game going to take some of the pressure off of him, because I think we're asking a little bit too much. He's kind of carrying us a lot. Don't get me wrong. I get it. He's making a lot of money. I get it.
Yeah.
I just want to win. I just want to win at the end of the day. And a running game is going to help. So we get AK back after next week. Hopefully that will make a turn. And I'm still hoping the offensive line will improve. That's including Penning and everybody else. So not just Penning.
They got to. And even though it's kind of hard to say this, I do think they looked a little better today than last week, or at least I think they're showing some improvement, and that's good. I mean, what the team looks like at the beginning of the year versus what it looks like at the end of the year is always going to be a completely different team. The offensive line needs that improvement the most, but I like the chemistry though that I'm seeing out there, and it was really good to see at the end of the game Derek Carr and Michael Thomas kind of joking around or just smiling on the sideline together.
Yeah.
And not just chemistry between those two, but Thomas and Olave, 2 Ohio State guys.
Yeah.
People just seem happy. They want to play. You got guys out there making big plays or fighting to make those big plays. And there's a lot of weapons out there. And, I think Thomas is, still going to be a valuable target for Carr. I think he's going to get a lot of defenders that are covering him. But the good news with that is that it opens up Olave. And I think there's a lot to be hopeful for here.
Yep, for sure. For sure. So on a short week, we got to go to Green Bay, right?
Yeah, at Lambeau. God, right. I forgot about that till tonight.
Yep, gotta go to Green Bay. So hey, we'll see what ends up happening. Oh, shout out to my guy Jake. Yeah, he's the OSU fan. I forgot about that. So yeah, you should kind of be a Saints fan here, Jake.
Yeah.
All right. You got all your players.
They've been good. Hey, Ohio State's been good to us.
Yep.
Apparently Fresno State is now too.
For real. We got two of their quarterbacks. So yeah.
But LSU lately, Sean Payton hated LSU, but apparently DA is okay with him.
Yeah.
Just not Tulane. Not Tulane though. Unfortunately.
Yeah. We gotta make that right, man. Fix that.
Yeah.
So
yep.
We'll stay on the guys, man, and maybe we'll draft some more Louisiana players, and we win some games out here. You know, well, that's what we do. Louisiana.
A lot of great football players out of Louisiana.
Right.
That's right. But like Jake said, Ohio State is wide receiver U. I wouldn't be upset if they keep drafting wide receivers out of there because that's worked out pretty good for the Saints.
Yeah, I can't lie. I don't complain when we draft somebody from Ohio State. So.
Yeah, we get them from Ohio State and they work out, and then Atlanta drafts them from Alabama and they look okay for a couple of years, and then they bet on NFL games and then they get, cut from the team.
That's right.
So I'll keep taking the Buckeyes every year.
Exactly. All right, man. You got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Man, no, that was a great game. I was nervous at first, felt comfortable at the end. Always nice when I'm not feeling like I'm going to have a heart attack at the end of a Saints game. And I'm looking forward to it. Thankfully, it's a short week. I felt like this one took a long time, man.
Yeah, it did.
Gosh, that was a long wait between week 1 and week 2. So when I wake up tomorrow, there's only 5 days left to game day. So that's nice.
Yeah. But I did enjoy watching the Red Zone channel and not having to worry. I could follow my fantasy teams and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so. That was fun.
I did enjoy that. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, y'all check us out on the beer run later this week, which will probably be tomorrow, but we'll see. And of course, we're going to be back for more Beer Chaser after the Saints game. So for B-Train, I'm Dale. We'll see y'all later. Who dat?
Remember to follow us on social media at BS and Beer Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.